G'day viewers, this is Troy from Troy's Digital Arts channel. I've just finished building a model cityscape. This is a model cityscape that I built up using some imagination and using the map of Wollongong as a base map. What I did was I traced out the map of Wollongong onto this cheap $5 cork board that I bought from the reject shop, and I coloured the sea with blue permanent marker. I left the sand without colour because it's pretty much, the cork board's pretty much of similar colour to the sand. I coloured the residential and bush area green, so to represent the residential and bush areas. The city area, I pretty much just left it as is. And for the buildings, I used a combination of wooden dowel and balsa wood dowel. I bought from the Wright's Arts and Craft store several packets of wooden dowels of various sizes. A lot of them square in shape and some of them round, so I can make skyscrapers and round skyscrapers. And I initially used normal wood, but then I went on to balsa wood because that's all they had for wooden dowel in the square form. So these are balsa wood and these are normal wood. I actually found that balsa wood was more convenient, particularly in making the smaller buildings, which these are supposed to represent houses. I haven't made this like a detailed city with windows and sort of like sculpting the roofs of the houses and all that, because that would take me way too long, and I'm not a full-time artist who would spend months and months and months, up to years, crafting each building into a detailed building, so to speak. So I just made it in a kind of like a simple form of pretty much like little block pieces of different sizes. So you got your houses, you got your several story, few story flats, and then you've got your skyscrapers. Over at the coastal side, I actually decided to put the two Wollongong lighthouses in, and I just simply used some round piece of wooden dowel to made sort of like cylinder buildings to represent the lighthouses. So this is pretty much a fictitious city based off the Wollongong map. I actually drew the roads with a black permanent marker in the same to pretty much match the Wollongong map, but I then added more roads using my own imagination. I also added the rivers as well, the lagoon at near North Beach, Stewart Park area. I added that, and also added, this is actually in the Wollongong map, this is actually the Wollongong golf course, but I decided to turn it into bushland and rivers and lakes and the like. I also added parks in between the buildings to give it a bit of variation. so it's not a completely concrete jungle. Now, for the bushland, the trees, and all that, I actually just used green felt, which I roughed up to make it look nice and bushy to represent bushes. The green felt was actually taken from took from a Christmas felt placemat that I bought from the reject shop, and here's what's left of it. So these are like the edges. I just cut them off. And this is pretty much the main placemat, which I cut into bits and pieces to make into bushes. I pretty much roughed the tops up with my Stanley knife to make it all look nice and bushy. Anyway, yeah, this cityscape took me a good 3 to 5 months to make. I can't remember when I started making this. I think it was back in May. So yeah, it would have been about 5 months this took me to put together, on and off. And yeah, I can happily say it's pretty much now complete. And yeah, ready for my photography projects and videography projects. I'm going to use this map for my film photography, to do some model photography. Also, I play around with my video cameras, and I can yeah, do some video of this cityscape, and yeah, do something creative with it. And yeah, that was pretty much the purpose of making this map. And also, yeah, I could call it an art piece to be exhibited into an art exhibition. So yeah, I intend to at some point get this cityscape exhibited, as well as my circuit cityscape here that I built last year. But that's another story. Anyway, I'll, yeah, zoom my camera in on the cityscape and give you a little bit of a tour. So yep, that's the residential areas, and this is the commercial area. Oh, I forgot to mention too, yeah, I also included the railway track as well, which spans the length of the western side of this map. And over here it splits the 2 tracks, one heading down to Unanderra and one heading to Port Kembla. But in this case, this is a fictitious city, so it's neither Wollongong or any of its suburbs. This city area here would have been Ferry Meadow if I did it exactly like Ferry Meadow. But yeah, this is pretty much a I guess what you call it, a neighbouring city to the main city. And this beach is pretty much the replication of Wollongong South Beach. Anyhow, that's just a bit of a randomised tour of the city, which I showed much of the city. Anyway, I think I'll wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for some videos of this city and some film photos on my Flickr page. This is Troy from Troy's Visual Arts channel, signing out.